Hi friends, welcome back to Garden Adventures. I'm Mary, and today is a beautiful sunny day in Western New York. I garden in Zone 6B, Niagara Falls. It is 70 degrees, sunny, with a humidity level of 89%. Woo! Yeah, it's humid today. We've had rain. It's a great break from the rain. The grass is still wet, but I wanted to do our week 6 update. Can you believe it's been 6 weeks since I've been doing these updates? I potted up the first containers on May 10th. Whew. It's unbelievable that it's summer already. Happy 4th of July, folks. And so if you remember, I potted up 15-inch terracotta pots with sun-loving annuals. And they are doing great, but let's take a closer look at them. Okay, so this is container number 1. It is obviously full of petunias. These petunias I grew from seed, and they are absolutely taking over the container. You can see a little bit, let me zoom in, a little bit of the white knight lobularia, and you can definitely see the baby tut poking through, as well as the coleus. The coleus I grew from seed, the baby tut and the lobularia, zoom back out, are proven winners varieties. So let me just take you kind of around the back. You can see the coleus and the baby tut better from this side. The petunias are definitely coming forward. They have rebounded really well from that kind of chop job I gave them a couple of weeks ago. I cut them way back, and they are in their glory in the sun-loving location. I have never seen petunias with this type of habit where they are growing so tall. This is the balcony mix from Eden Brothers. So let's take a look at how it looked when I planted it up to now. Alrighty, moving on to container number 2. We have multi-stem geraniums that I grew from seed. I got the seed from Swallowtail Gardens. And yes, I got them because of Laura on Garden Answer. Hers just did so well that I got some seeds myself. So mine are about 4 weeks behind Laura's. Next up, we have the Cherry Bandana Lantana, which is just a lovely habit. I really like this one. It is kind of it is an upright plant, so it is kind of filling in and it's kind of spilling over. The Calibrachoa I am a little disappointed in. It is the Orange Kiss. And although it is bigger than it was when I planted it, it is not keeping up with the vigor of the other 2 plants. And I don't think I would get this variety again. But, you know, we'll keep fertilizing and see how it does. So again, let's look back at how it looked when I first planted it up back on May 10th. Container number 3, I feel like this is my dark and moody container. So we have a Ipomea sweet potato vine called Black Heart, a Superbena Imperial Blue, and Angelonia Purple. So that Superbena is kind of doing it, huh? The sweet potato vine has a lovely habit as well. It is kind of more upright. It is pushing the Angelonia over a little, but it's mixing in. The Angelonia is keeping up. You can still see it rising above, so I'm happy with this one. Let's take a look back at when it was planted. Big difference. Container number 4. All right, we have an Osteospermum Bright Lights White, which is doing very well. I have deadheaded it here and there. It continues to push new growth. We have an Ipomea sweet potato vine called Marguerite, and in the back is a purple fountain grass. And I actually love this stage of purple fountain grass where it's tall enough that you can see it over the other plants, but it's not gigantic and like pushing everything out. And I kind of hope it stays this way. I know it'll get a little bit bigger. Let me zoom in on that. There's the purple fountain grass in the back there, the Ipomea and the Osteospermum Bright Lights White. Let's take a look back at when I planted them. Next up, container number 5. This canna lily is really doing it. It has you know, suffered a little bit because of rain that we've had. We have had days and days of rain. The Bidens, I feel like, is filling in finally. It has continued to bloom. It is doing really well. It looks healthy. And the Osteospermum Bright Lights Red, I haven't seen blooms in a few days. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but you know, we'll see. Let me take you back to when I planted this one up to now. Alrighty, container number 6 is the Supertunia Mini Vista Indigo, Violet Star, and Hot Pink, and a Blue Mohawk Juncus. Now this thing is filling in, spilling over, looking fantastic. And that blue mohawk grass is really like a fireworks effect coming out of the top of this container. I am really enjoying it. Like I said, we've had rain for a few days. It may have, you know, kind of weighed down the petunia, the Supertunias. So I think they'll rebound as the sun warms it up and dries it out a little. I think they will lift back up. But I think it's fabulous just like it is. They have mixed extremely well. I'm very happy with how this combination has come together. Alrighty, next up we have the Argyranthemum Golden Butterfly and the Blew My Mind XL Evolvulus. And the Evolvulus, I feel like, is finally putting on some growth, you know, kind of heading off outside of the container. It has blue flowers. It's getting there. Can't wait for this to, you know, kind of fill in. This one I've enjoyed watching each week. I felt like the Evolvulus wasn't really doing much for a while, but now you know, it's going for it. And the Argyranthemum has been great this entire time, but it's not pushing out the Evolvulus, which is nice. And I do like the variation in color on those yellow flowers. Next up we have Supertunia Bordeaux and Rockin' Playin' the Blue Salvia. And the penstemon behind it definitely has had some issues with the rain. I need to come in and cut off some of the bloom stalks and give it a chance to kind of lift itself back up. But the container itself, is doing extremely well. I'm very happy with how the Bordeaux looks. And that plant on the right here has really caught up with the one on the left. Next up we have Pretty in Pink. We have the Senorita Rosalita Cleome, an Aromance Nemesia, and a Sun Patient. And they are all blooming, looking great. That Cleome is gigantic. I don't think I realized it was going to get so big, but it's looking gorgeous. Those blooms are just, yep, it's wonderful. And container number 10, we have a Ridiculous Coleus, a Diamond Frost Euphorbia, a Bronze Orange Canna Lily, and a Baby Tuck Grass. Still my favorite for playing nicely together. I think they're mixing. I think you can see every single plant in here and they're all doing their thing. They just, for having 4 plants in a 15-inch container, that these plants get so big, they're just doing extremely well. I did cut out a couple of branches of the Ridiculous, so it was a little more full, but I used them in flower arrangements this weekend, so that is why you see a spot that has a little green margin on it, because I cut out the branches on the outside. That one wasn't getting as much sun, but now that it's getting more sun, I think this will redden up as well. So we'll keep an eye out, and I'll show you an update next week. All right, friends, that's gonna do it for today's update. This humidity is already getting to me. Whew. If you are interested in seeing the containers go together, I do have a playlist for the Container Alley updates. I included the planting of the containers in that playlist. So I hope you enjoy. If you did, give me a thumbs up and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching.